Many people believe that nature's value cannot be put into dollars and cents. That is, they value the natural world for its own sake, regardless of what services or benefits it provides for humans. Yet, this notion is fundamentally at odds with the economic system we've created. We live in a world that is increasingly dominated by a global economy, where it is assumed that everything of value has a price tag attached. If something can't be quantified and sold, it is considered worthless. The president of a forest company once said to me, "A tree has no value until it's cut down. Then it adds value to the economy." So, how do we reconcile our economy with ecology? The earth provides us with essential natural services like air and water purification and climate stability. But these aren't part of our economy because we've always assumed such things are free. But natural services are only free when the ecosystems that maintain them are healthy. Today, with our growing population and increasing demands on ecosystems, we are degrading them more and more. Unfortunately, remedial activities and products like air filters, bottled water, eye drops, and other things we need to combat degraded services all add to the GDP, which economists call growth. Something is terribly wrong with our economic system when poor environmental health and reduced quality of life are actually good for the economy. But what if we did put a price tag on things like clean air and water? If we assigned a monetary value to natural systems and functions, would we be more inclined to conserve them? Yes, according to an international group of ecologists writing in the latest edition of a journal Science. The group argues that humanity will continue to degrade natural systems until we realize that the costs to repair or replace them are enormous. So we must find a way to place a dollar value on all ecosystem assets. Natural resources such as fish or timber, life support processes such as water purification and pollination, and life-enriching conditions like beauty and recreation. Most of these assets, with the exception of natural resources, we already exploit but do not trade in the marketplace because they are difficult to price. But this is changing. For example, this spring, an Australian organization became the first conservation group to be listed on a stock exchange. The company buys and restores native wildlife and vegetation, while earning income from tourism and wildlife sales. In New York City, officials recently decided to buy land around watersheds and let the forest and soil organism filter water instead of building a massive new filtration plant. Until recently, this potential to use natural services rather than technology to solve problems has been largely overlooked. Even though natural approaches may provide greater benefits to communities, such as lower costs, reduced flooding and soil erosion, and authentic benefits. In Canada, forests are primarily valued for the timber they provide. But this leads to conflict. For instance, a recent report from the Department of Fisheries and Oceans found that logging roads in British Columbia continue to devastate fish-bearing streams, even though legislation is supposed to protect them. In fact, our forests provide many services that, if assigned a monetary value, could completely change the way we use them. As just one species out of perhaps 50 million, the notion of assigning value to everything on Earth solely for its utility to humans may seem like an act of incredible arrogance. But the harsh reality of today's world is that money talks and economies are a central preoccupation. At the very least, assigning monetary value to ecosystem services may force us to take a hard look at all the nature provides. Maybe then we'll stop taking it for granted.